We have run down everything we built. Falco in Sawem Canary and Naoko Ministries, and you want something to be done, you need to pay bribes. Corruption runs from the grassroots to the top. Everybody is corrupt. The people who are guarded are on post, yet cocaine disappears. If it doesn't disappear, it turns into cassava dough. Go to Kolebu, the one you pride in, the kind of bed that we need so. Are we so poor, Ghana, to the point that we cannot even buy modern beds? Ha! I'm telling you, there is nothing to celebrate. A nation that is 62. Ghana, Lipa and Cocoa pension. The GDP growth of the wine, the macro economy. You better stop this useless statistics. Why don't you replicate those figures in the pockets and the livelihoods of the people? Conference asena yempeni free down. If there is any group of people, Monsoma Haomepa is NDC MPP. Mahaye papa. We are Ghana for the civil servants, public servants, appreciate for Mokao, soldier for Mokao, more money, Mokao. We didn't want to action about beach, Wako road, Rosa, near Sio. Now, person wine the quantity pino. Baby, I know my room zip no more Jones. Mona minimo casa. We didn't want to action about thing. Ballers, your suicide came no could fear with suicide. Let the cold be on malaria, Banamu, Wuse, and say, Namo say your devil, a wa. Oko a juma. You are supposed to report at 8, you come at 10. Who were kilo to 1. No far back, so we'll call lunch, no and no. And you expect this country to progress. If you ban woman from Bibles, may come by Baba. Empire Baba, no. Empire Baba, no. As I say in the Alabama, every office environment has Wi-Fi. And what near your Instagram? Facebook. Really free, said there is time for everything. I am penny for Munsusun Yamani. We have the men, we have the men. Where are the men? Me, I am from home. NDC MP, I am from home 2 minutes. Okasa Koha, almost MPP. Okasa Baham said, yes, there is no need for any celebration. And go for this communion, Jumania. Opinion number B, and all that. The moment your party wins power, he becomes a millionaire. But we are too much. Too much. Chrono netigara. A wood dear. We put people into power, they wild time. Whilst they are in power, they are asking vote for us in the next term. But you have not even exhausted your time. You have the power, so work with it. On my soul, I have 4. On my way, yes, so I have 4. On my soul, I'm telling you, there is nothing to celebrate. Our independence was with Malaysia and Singapore. Go and check them up. When you fly a drone over Accra, you will realize that 80% of this city is a slum. Where are our engineers? I'm driving from here to East Legon. Why do I have to make a detour before Accra Mall? Common sense tells you can go straight to East Legon. Why am I going to somewhere like I'm coming to somewhere like New Plan? But I need to go and make a detour or a U-turn at mile 7 and come back. Where are our engineers? I'm coming to Ofanko Moose. Why do I have to make a U-turn at Pokuase? You drive around in great nations. Have you seen anything like that before? When you are driving in England on the main freeway or motorway, you get to a place, you will see what they've written, local traffic. So if it is Amasaman, they give you an exit. You go on the exit, and the exit will take you into the township. You don't make U-turns. I give you on my common sense. Nenam se ni pe di dimunti. Woman nimpa. Omanya. Yami be tria moka. Yami be tria moka. Yami be tria. Bring your camera, sir. Yami be tria moka. Osuru nyame obi tria moka. Bisu nyame be tria moka. Ebe kamo. Yami obi tria moka. The two hands are lifted up.
Me. That's it. That's better. Very good evening to you and welcome to Diaspora Studios. Meeting the Kofi Asante Mpari and Afifi Asante Mpari. I'm not paying near a bar or Kofi Dro Asori no, which is sorry, bear with me 1 second. Something is distracting me here. I just started and I've got a distraction already. Yeah, that's better. Yes, the about Kofi Dro Asori Anope Enono. We're at Alabasta and now we need to osi nyame betua moka nyame ebetua moka nyamo dia ye omeyi nyame betua moka eni anope Kofi Dro be nsem a me ba beka no waka fa amame already ene nti ene no one call Prophet Kofi Dro Asori no but the video is on YouTube, it's on Facebook. Narration right from Nkrumah to our current president. It means because as if say all you knows, I was there because that was my plan tonight to sit down and do the narration right from Nkrumah leaders up to now Nana Akufo-Addo, Dankwa Akufo-Addo Eduniso. That was the idea. The idea was to do that narration. But Kofi Dro Ayama me picking from a different angle. So I say much we've done about nothing. Much we've done about nothing. There's so much. Ya fisi ya ye. Nansu ya shepa. So you can read it in two different ways. Everything is much we've done about nothing. Yeah, so much, but Ghana ni beka bibi also cost 90. That is one. And two, you can also read it in a different way. Say, that is why I like this title, Much We've Done About Nothing. And I picked up the idea from a literature book when I was a student that I read, Much Ado About Nothing. I believe those of you who studied in Ghana and did literature, probably you might have come across this fantastic book. There's some fantastic African literature books that I was a pure literature student, so I read a lot of these books, and sometimes it's still these books titles and the things that phrases that are in it still plays to my mind up to today. Amazing books that we've read in the past, and I don't even know where all these books are now. Animal Farm, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Weep Not Child, and all this. That's just by the way. Anyway, numero me per se, you check Ghana, and then you see Ghana near 65 into Ghana or your bar. It's just I refer to Nkro as she, so Ghana your bar and 65 or called pension at the age of 65. A brochure crown Chrome has in UK, I think 65 for your bar and I was over pension, either 65 or 67, I believe, and then Bema there 70 something. With regards to pension and man SCCA, now so and who in terms of essay and statistics shows intimidating and medical pension so in terms anyway, that's just by the way. In TNA, me per se you share 65 years in Puntu Ben year 2. 65 years, some of the mistakes that we've made. And for 65 years, then na yesuya, ye fee say, from the 65th birthday of Ghana, no, ebia, you bet me, changing the narratives. You bet me, rewrite our story. You bet me, start something different. That your mind, and your mind, I'm on mind, so because see, I'm nyaman nyempanifoɔ no ɔmo hu so nneɛma nkɔ yie koraa nti mepɛ sɛ nnwumere yi yɛhwɛ ni saa nneɛma no nyinaa nti mpatwɛ woba so a yɛ me favor bɔ mmɔden na share video no na fa ma nnua bi anaa na like video no. So it's very, very important, because when you like it, then so many people tend to also watch it nti hwɛ bɔ mmɔden ahwɛ na like it na bɔ mmɔden nso na share with uniebi. Why that Roma medasi.
We have run down everything we built. Falco in Sawem Cannery and Naoko Ministries, and you want something to be done, you need to pay bribes. Corruption runs from the grassroots to the top. Everybody is corrupt. The people who are guarded are on post, yet cocaine disappears. If it doesn't disappear, it turns into cassava dough. Go to Kolebu, the one you pride in, the kind of bed that we need panda. Are we so poor, Ghana, to the point that we cannot even buy modern beds? I'm telling you, there is nothing to celebrate. A nation that is 62. Ghana, Nipa and Cocoa pension. The GDP growth of the the macro economy. You better stop this useless statistics. Why don't you replicate those figures in the pockets and the livelihoods of the people? Conference asena yempeni free down. If there is any group of people, Monsoma Haomeba is NDC MPP. Mahaya papa. We are Ghana for the civil servants, public servants, appreciate for soldier for more money, who didn't want to action about beach, road draws, near Sio. Now, person wine the quantity pino. Baby, I know my room zip no more Jones. Mona minimo casa. We didn't want to action about thing. Ballers, your suicide came no could fear with suicide. Let the cold be on malaria, banamu wuse and say, I'm say a devil, a wa. Oko a juma. You are supposed to report at 8, you come at 10. Who were kilo to 1. No after bags, I will call lunch, no either. And no. And you expect this country to progress. If you ban woman from Bibles may come Pai Baba. And Pai Baba no. And Pai Baba no. As I say in the Abba, every office environment has Wi-Fi. And what near your Instagram. And you remember Facebook. Really free, said there is time for everything. I am penny for Munsusun Yamanu. Namunsusun Kasa. We have the men, Where are the men? I am from home. NDC MPP, Yam from home 2 minutes. Okasa Koha almost MPP. Okasa Baham said, yes, there is no need for any celebration. And go for this communion, opinion number B, and all that. The moment your party wins power, he becomes a millionaire. We are too much. Too much. Chrono netigana. A wood dear. We put people into power, they wild time. Whilst they are in power, they are asking vote for us in the next term. But you have not even exhausted your time. You have the power, so work with it. On my soul, I have 4. On my way, yes, so I have 4. On my soul. I'm telling you, there is nothing to celebrate. in our seal, may succeed or not. Our independence was with Malaysia and Singapore. Go and check them up. When you fly a drone over Accra, you will realize that 80% of this city is a slum. Where are our engineers? I'm driving from here to East Legon. Why do I have to make a detour before Accra Mall? Common sense tells you you can go straight to East Legon. Why am I going to somewhere like I'm coming to somewhere like New Plan, but I need to go and make a detour or a U-turn at mile 7 and come back? Where are our engineers? I'm coming to Ofanko Moose. Why do I have to make a U-turn at Pokuase? You drive around in, great nations. Have you seen anything like that before? When you are driving in England on the main freeway or motorway, you get to a place, you will see what they've written, local traffic. So if it is Amasaman, they give you an exit. You go on the exit and the exit will take you into the township. You don't make U-turns. I give you on my common sense. Nenam se ni pe di dimunti. Womunim pa. Omanya. Nami be tria moka. Nami be tria moka. Nami be tria. Bring your camera, say. Nami be tria moka. Osuru nyame obe tria moka. Bisu nyami be tria moka. Ebe kamo. Nami obe tria moka. The two hands are lifted up.
Good evening once again to you. Welcome to Diaspora Studios, Medindi Kofi Asante Impari, and as a Fifi Asante Impari. And then Prophet Kofi Odro, Nenia Brigier, and then Nenia Brepa, or Sinyami be Chiamoka, Sunyami be Chiamoka, Nebekamo, or say a Becamo, no sense, and come on, Becamo ma, a Becamo Yerenom, because Omunyomu DB. And a serious, or man ye, yes, say your mind. Anyway, and then my topic, no shame, is a match we've done about nothing. Ghana at 65. It's sad to think that today Ghana has 65 years, or Ghana has had independence for 65 years now, and then much we've done about nothing. Much we have done about nothing. And then me say, yɛhwɛ adeɛ bi sɛ adentina yɛnya mpanifo bebree a yɛsi ɔmo nyinaa yɛ one of the finest branch a bɛdi Ghana so ɔmo di anim atwa esa no nanso still yɛhu yɛn ho ano yɛgu so gyina baabi a yɛgyina. And there's this very, 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 very interesting leadership book that I've read over the years, and it's a book that I've read it about 3-4 times because it's very interesting. This book was written by John P. Cotter, and or entitled book, also what leaders really do. What leaders really do. Now, me pese and then mene etie for share some of the extracts from this book. Me read what leaders really do are. Niame huni say a leadership. Your problem are you win is down to leadership. Your penny for ne baby DS no omunti leadership ase. Omuba as the power has been given to me, or the mandate has been given to me, and mena 2 minutes kitame. It's sana President Akufo-Addo kana no. Mena 2 minutes ya diamame. Mena 2 minutes kitame. They forget that they've been given the mandate into leadership, and therefore they have to come in and lead us as people. Nti ene me pese ye hwe sa nneɛma no ne ye hwe sɛ leadership na let ye down ye mpanifo no omu besua bibi ana omu sua bibi efi mu ana omu sua bibi efi mu ana. Very, very, very interesting. Super interesting. Nti me pese ene ye hwe no from a different angle. Let's watch it from a totally different twist. The most important part is this book was a Harvard Business Review leadership book. Harvard Business Review leadership book. Nti enye book bia keke a obi keke natural. Da bonten. And this person, John P. Cotter, did 30 years studies into leadership management, and then he was able to come out with his findings. And for you to study something for 30 years and sign out with the pen at to paper so no true bibino. Now you're very committed to the research into leadership. And then maybe say you pick one or two extras be or if what leaders really do. Now you share a day film. Baby ya you fairly or mind Ghana as leaders. And I say baby ya leaders a failure. Pardon me. Me babe ready. The first part of the book no is the leaders at the 10 of the century. Also leadership at the 10 of the century. Inti honum de me read yesi na book ni de me reading about there are about 4 or 5 different extracts be and I'm person yehwe. But for anybody to understand where these extracts are coming from, they first of all have to really understand how the study was done into this. Nti me baba be kind, me kaya me jina nti and then very different. We're doing it very different. So let's start. As a leadership at the 10 of the century, for 30 years, I've been studying the actions of those who ran organization trying to record and clarify what they do. Bear with me 1 second. I need to put something on so I make sure that I'm getting it. Why they have as they do, what effect their choices have on their individuals and enterprises. I do not begin this work with an explicit focus on leadership in mind. Indeed, the word can be found rarely, if at all, in my early writings. Nevertheless, it is toward leadership that my efforts have ultimately been directed. A fact that says something important about the involving nature of what we call managerial work. It's all part of leadership. So very, very important. Me per se yeti asiye ansana me the extracts no about intina making kahano. Or say after conducting 14 formal studies and more than 1,000 interviews, directly observing dozens of executives in action and compiling surveys, I'm completely convinced that most organizations today lack the leadership I say, I'm completely convinced that most organizations today lack the leadership they need, and the shortfall is often large. I'm not talking about a deficit of 10%. I say, he's not talking about a deficit of 10%, but of 200%, possibly 400% or more in positions up and down the hierarchy. So this tells you after 30 years of research, interviews, putting all this information together, looking at leadership, looking at how governments across the world have behaved, Utimu said there is a deficit about 200 to 400%, possibly even more. No wonder, see ejina baby ejina. No wonder see yenko yenim. No wonder say bibia nye juma. Enye gusu jina we. Because we claim to have some of the finest abedi oman yiso. And then I'm arguing sanka maybe go through all of them with their pictures. But as I said, Prophet Kofi Duro yes said juma nintino. Manfa mi yifi mi dienim. From Nkrumah, ye tu Nkrumah, ye nya Ankranom, Kotoka, the Buzia. So, Buzia nom, and apparently Buzia was one of the finest brains. Yes, your kasa. It wows you off your seat. So, Buzia ne, Kufuado papa nom, ye fi honom ye keka koya ye benya a champon ye benya free far ye benya hinebiem Rollins for a short while and a fidye ye benya kufu kramire a kufu, and then Rollins for a short while ye fi honom ye benya hinebiem Dr. Hillel Liman also na bana nche. Then Rollins came back again. And I feel the Rollins a transfer for how many years? I'm saying or transfer for 11 years. 11 years. And from 11 years, you know, you call into the Fourth Republic. You know, the Fourth Republic, you know, so as a president for another 8 years, that gives you 19 years. And now on feel you been John ex-president John Agyekum Kufuor, and also efi honum and ye benya Kufuor fi honum ye benya Professor Atta Mills, Professor Fifi Atta Mills, my name. And on when we in the 4 years no, and unfortunately ofimu and ne vice John ex-president John Dramani Mahama nso bae no be ono nso be ono ne term no ono no abe winning election and ono nso serve 4 years and Ghana for say yempe no and amuyi no fi ho and sisi mu vote in Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the current one. Nti hwe ni papa mabobo so yi enen wenum nyina bedi Ghana for so sa nipa bebrebe nyina bedi Ghana for so eko. Still Ghana si baby esi yentimi ndame Ghana. It's even gone worse because social Nkrumah di jaye the foundations we had sanka we should have built on from there. Tisiano is gone worse. Because those foundations, you know, for 65 years, foundations, they're old foundations. Niama sesa, if we are say move, if we are say konenim. Nso yɛgu so gyina baabi yɛgyina. Yɛgu so gyina baabi yɛgyina. Countries a ne yɛmfi aseɛ bebree ɛwɔ wɔn anim ɛsen yɛn. And we bisa ho sɛ adentia. Because they've had leaders who are visionaries. They've had leaders who are great, and at the same time, maybe to checks and balances. It holds these leaders accountable. But yen ye jana tra for all these years. Tra. And omano I say atiti apansa. Atiti apansa. If I say you tie a lot of the extracts, if you book way. Or say, in extreme cases, enterprises full of jobs are lost. Customers and communities and financial interests are hurt. Careers are derailed in less extreme situations. Firms underperform. Essential dealings with the same consequences in their ailing counterparts, but to a lesser degree. The failure shows up in numbers that are sometimes easy to interpret, but are often subtle, as when an enterprise turns out to perform similar to that of its competitors. This study is a business study, so into leadership, into enterprise, ministries, for ministries, baby, I bet enterprise, for ministries, because it's a business study and in leadership. Now, the person you focus on is on the leadership aspect. It's on the leadership aspect. Also, more dramatic than any numbers are individual cases of rare human beings who suffer under tyrants or incompetent or even well-meaning bosses whose failure to lead helps bring down the ship. More dramatic than any numbers are individuals' cases of real human beings who suffer under tyrant or incompetent or even well-meaning bosses whose failure to lead helps bring down the ship. When you have or you've elected somebody to lead, na say ofelimu or you're incompetent, on your visionary, untimi leadi. When say the whole ship, the whole country, namasenke. The whole country, namasenke. And no, ni bebia and ne yejina ewo Ghana. And no, ni bebia ne Ghana jina. Because our leaders lack leadership skill. They lack leadership skill. There are no patriots. So because this person is a patriot, the patriotism is not in the heart of Ghanaians. If it is, only a few. Only a few. And the issue we have is normally they take office and they will surround themselves with their own peers. Their own peers. So it then becomes difficult for somebody within those faithful peers and our friendship, Becca Trent say, Papa, ni auye, minjin say koye essay or mine. But rather, no, and you have people to come and defend it. I came across a video yesterday and I couldn't believe what I was hearing and what I was watching. People to defend stupidness because a aban. People to defend foolishness because a aban. So baako fo didi mi wia na ne refi say nunua no mo guo nyina kom de omo. We have issued 65 years of what? 65 years of lies that has been told to Ghanaians. 65 years of mismanagement. 65 years of corruption. 65 years propaganda, year in, year out. Something has to change. Because for 65 years, Sana Yekonono, in fact, Sana Yakwa 65 years, no, it's not working. It's not working. So somebody has to say, hold on, something is wrong here. What can we do? Somebody has to say, something is wrong here. What can we do to change it? What can we do to change it? I look at Ghana's situation and me say you share extracts be from these what leaders really do. The first extract I'm person you share near altar no entitled observation number 1. Or say observation number 1. Or say in the most successful change efforts, people move through 8 complicated stages in which they, 1, create a sense of urgency. Sense of urgency. That is 1. 2, put together a strong enough team to direct the process. Very important. 3, create an appropriate vision. 4, communicate that new vision broadly. 5, empower each people or employees to act on the vision. 6, produce sufficient short-term result to give their effect, credibility, and to disempower the cynics. 7, build momentum and use that momentum to tackle the together change of problems. And finally, 8, anchor the new behavior in an organization culture. That is observation 1. If you really, pardon me, I dropped something, want Ghana to move, these are the things that we need to look at. And I'm telling you, say, in Nehemiah, this great altar, or spending 30 years studying leadership, interviewing leaders around the world, finding out what leaders really need and what leaders really have to do for 30 years. In Nehemiah 8 or mention Wahingina, as a country, Ghana, we lack them. We lack them. We become through BM. Or see, in the most successful change efforts, people move through 8 complicated stages. So if we really want a change, we have to go through, as a country, 8 complicated stages, which are: 1, create a sense of urgency. Where is the sense of urgency in Ghana? Yemu area, yemu inyama ye basa. Everything is going against us, but yes, still yenam honum cozy and casually, as if nothing is happening. There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of urgency. Okasa, fix the country. Say, fix yourself. No sense of urgency. Okasa, your friend is saying things are not happening. There are no jobs. Say, you create the jobs yourself. There are no sense of agency. If there is a sense of urgency, Anka leaders will say, hold on. Sisiano, amembo no mumiye nyina yenkambo miembu ni together. Problems are more by. What do we think we can do? Nanka yehu little power schemes. Then we can see that at least there is a sense of urgency. But as we speak in Ghana now, there's no sense of urgency. Until altar number 1, it's not there. Let's look at what he put down as to also put together a strong enough team to direct the process. We don't do that as a nation. Do we put together a strong enough team to direct the process of this country? No, we don't. Ghana mambuono, I say, ye young colony or Ghana, and near free bibi fre kobo. Ye kobo boa, yes, fre kobo, which means momu nye team. But I say you all the same neighborhood, and I say you all the same club, no. And some match, no, ebe start here, and I say you say, oh, suddenly your match up. Mr. Kojomen Sabra, Kwekubebo, Kwame, we are free. No, I frefre, you're from the frefre kobo. You frefre, then you just put together. You don't look at whether the person has got the ability to play the position that they're playing, whether the person have the mental strength to be able to be the right person between the people or the citizenry and the government, and I say on the citizenry and the department now, as I say, oko headino, yenye we nyina, yeye frefre kobo. Nti yema president mandata, president share ne party nim. No, a frefre omo he said they are faithful to him. Na ono no diomo ebu mino frefre kobo. Ono no diomo ebu mino. And yes, sir, president, will rather sit down. No, why yet consultation. No, I should say all across the world, who are the finest brains in positions of as a player or as a consultant, no, that goes out of the window. Then we go on favoritism. Ofimikrom, Oyeminuaba, Anase, Oyeme party ba. These are the people we pick. to play very vital roles in government. Look at Ajumamenu, our health minister. The man is still on post. Why? I don't know. And then I don't want to mention names. And you bet me about Dean, the incompetent across. Into two, also to put together a strong enough team to direct the affairs or the processes. We don't have it. So one, Ghana has failed. Two, we have failed. Okay, let's look at three. Also three, create an appropriate vision. We don't have it. We spoke of Vision 2020. We spoke of Vision this, Vision that. Thinking, say, 100 years away is too far. We do not have a vision. You tell me, what is the vision of the country, Ghana? What is our vision? Why? Because we do not have a national plan. We do not have a national plan. See, our national planner, which then becomes our vision. Our vision. So three, we don't have it. The author is giving us 8. Now we've gone through the first 1, we don't have it. 2, we don't have it. So 3, we don't have it. Whoa. Almost halfway through. Or say 4. Communicate the new vision broadly. We do not even have vision to communicate that new vision broadly nationwide. So 4, we don't have it. If you don't have the 3, you can't have the 4, because the 3 is to have a vision. The new vision. We do not have a new vision. Therefore, how do we even communicate that vision broadly nationwide? Let's look at 5. Empower your people or employees to act on the vision. No. Recently, the finance minister was saying that, look, with regards to job, the whole government ministerial jobs is totally choked up. Government can't employ anybody again. So professionals, young graduates, have to go into entrepreneurship. We understand that and respect that. It was just mere words. There was nothing that was put together for them to follow. There was nothing that was set up to help them to that entrepreneurship. For you to be self-employed or to be able to carry yourself to have a business, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It means they were talking about entrepreneurship to say but look, those things will never, ever, ever move a country like Ghana forward. We need to begin to think outside the box. We need to begin to think, Sana, these young guys, you bet me, and they we are maybe ideas be a moment based on those creativity they can build on. There was no forums set up for them. There was no education. There was no capital. There was no advice center. Nothing. Let's look at 5. I think we have looked at 5. So let's look at 6 now. Produce sufficient short-term results to give their efforts credibility and to disempower the cynics. when the author talks about cynics, there's something called I think it's a cynicism. There's something called cynicism or cynicism. Yeah, I think it's cynicism. Yeah, I'm going to look for the word and I'll put it in there. It means, what it means is, normally people go into, and that is what happens in Ghana. People go into positions within our ministries or governmental position. You tell us, whatever position that you put people in is for their selfish interest. It's for their own interest. That is what it cynicism, I believe, is the word is. Bear with me. Let me quickly look for it and then put it out here. So we go for cynics. Cynics. Yeah. Yeah. So we tend to believe that people are motivated purely by self-interest rather than acting for honorable or unselfish reasons. Yes. Yes. So I'm absolutely spot on. I'm right on that. The is this, yeah, I've got it. This is the term. It's called cynicism. Cynicism. Let me try and get Google to pronounce it. I believe that is the right pronunciation. That is the right pronunciation. A problem.
Cynicism.
Yeah, cynicism. So I'm right. Cynicism.
Cynicism.
Cynicism. Yeah. Yeah, I'm right. An inclination to believe that people are motivated purely by self-interest. An inclination to believe that. Now let's look at 7. 7 is build momentum and use that momentum to tackle the tougher change problems. And then the 8 is anchor the new behavior in organizational culture. So if we have vision and we have all these, then we need to then anchor that vision. Anchor is either you hammering it down or you pressing it down, or through education. Sometimes if education doesn't work, you're going to use different means by probably coming up with a law to back it up, by people who do not behave certain way, they are fined, or they face the court and things like that, to try and anchor the behavior change into your ministries. We lack all this. And that brings us back to the same Ajimamenu Sputnik V. He made all mistakes, broke all protocols with regards to procurement. The state nearly lost a lot of money. A lot of money. He said, Ogusutio, recently, transport minister, or yeah, the same thing. A budget has been done for 2022. We know in 2022, 2021, no order munyi tobus na biaye nyope. Chaotic. Very chaotic. Very chaotic. What leaders really do, the author is asking. His observation 1, he's giving us 8 bullet points. And 8 bullet points, now looking at it, we fail as a country on that. And I'm going to talk through or read through quickly the 8 bullet points. I'll say in the most successful change effects, in the most successful change efforts, people move through 8 complicated stages in which they are: 1, create a sense of urgency; 2, put together a strong enough team to direct the processes; 3, create an appropriate vision; 4, communicate the new vision broadly; and then 5, empower employees, organization, ministries to act on the vision; 6, produce sufficient short-term result to give their effort credibility and to disempower the cynics. Then 7, build momentum and use that momentum to tackle the tougher change problems. And then finally 8, anchor the new behavior in organizational culture. No, all 8. No, as a country, no. No wonder. Say Ghana, nkɔ n'anim no. Ghana nkɔ n'anim. It's because of lack of leadership skill. We don't have it. Excuse me. We don't have it. It's lack of leadership skill. We have leaders who do not have leadership skill. They act on their emotions. Majority of our leaders that we've had, they act on their emotions. Somebody will say, why are you saying they act on their emotions? Now, there. Very vindictive leaders. When a government is voted out and a new government has been given the mandate to come and rule the country, in between the outgoing government and the incoming government, we have what is called a transition team. The transition team communicates the information of the outgoing governments, their projects, completed, uncompleted, everything, the assets left behind, money at bank, everything to the new incoming government. That is the work of the transition team. So why do they do that? For you to have a very smooth transition. So whoever is coming in, they have an overview of how the country is being run, the position of the country now with regards to economy, with regards to reserve, if there's any debt, you name it, projects. Inti se ankaye acti. You were good leaders, almost acting not with their emotions. They are not being vindictive. They have an overview of all these projects, which is money which has been loaned to this country. And things like Sagleme will not be an issue. Because Uncle Bai and Obeng say, hold on, this amount of money is being, state money is being spent here. Akaka krebi ye phase 1 and ye phase 2, aka phase 3 and 4. See ye phase 3 and 4 scramble na. Young making sure that phase 1 and 2 is properly completed. And here in fact, mass citizens. And mass citizens cry. Let's give it out to any of the banking institution and then let's mortgage those assets out so that at least we could get money back into government coffers. No. Omubeja projects ni nyina gunrem na owo eni nantwie ne nketre, you name it, aboa bia enam Ghana eni namu na nipa mogu abonten. Lack of vision. Hey, you need visionary leaders. So No wonder a Ghana birthday, Ghana at 65. And this is what Kofi Dro thinks about you. This is what Prophet Kofi Dro thinks about you.
Our independence was with Malaysia and Singapore. Go and check them up. When you fly a drone over Accra, you will realize that 80% of this city is a slum. Where are our engineers? I'm driving from here to East Legon. Why do I have to make a detour before Accra Mall? Common sense tells you can go straight to East Legon. Why am I going to somewhere like, I'm coming to somewhere like New Plan, but I need to go and make a detour or a U-turn at mile 7 and come back? Where are our engineers? I'm coming to Ofanko Moose. Why do I have to make a U-turn at Pokuase? You drive around in, great nations. Have you seen anything like that before? When you are driving in England on the main freeway or motorway, you get to a place, you will see what they've written, local traffic. So if it is Amasaman, they give you an exit. You go on the exit and the exit will take you into the township. You don't make U-turns. I give you on my common sense. Nenam se ni pe di dimunti. Woman nimpa. Omanya. Yami be triamoka. Yami be triamoka. Yami be triam. Bring your camera, say. Yami be triamoka. Osuru nyame obe triamoka. Bisu nyami be triamoka. Ebe kamo. Yami obe triamoka.
This is what Kofi Dro thinks about you guys. Nyame be triamoka. And he's right. To say, it's difficult to address issue. Sometimes over here, then you have to bite your tongue. No one because if you really want to flow at the pace that you really determined to, one when we are bad words will come out of your lips. Now, Ghana, bad words will come out. And ne also for Kofi Dro. No, nothing works. I said this in my video 2 weeks ago. When you are on a flight across any of these Western countries, in the night, you see all the lights, the street light. Even during the day, you see the Gulf Coast, you see beautiful rivers. That everything is so nice, beautiful. Flights, in your do Ghana and Africa, a bathroom kakrati say lights na atwafa baby bia saka. Before I land, I say to myself all the time, welcome to land of confusion, land of saka. Up to today, 21st century, into young penny for young engineers, young architects, young ministries, more here. Lawlessness, now lawlessness, go back to altar number 8. Now, okay, office of the observation. Number 8 of the observation. This is why lawlessness. We have nothing to anchor the new behavior in organization. Because it, also anchor the new behavior in an organizational culture or ministerial culture. We don't have it. We do not have it. We cannot anchor anything. Everybody, people go about, they do what they want. And then Prophet Kofi Drew, my man share and Mirabe Kaimo, Asama de Biaye Kano, and no can be. Or see, there is, if you think outside the box, we say there is so much money in the system. Government can make this money every month more. It will worth more than e-levy. Do you know how much the British government? I can't even say British government because it's based on councils. But do you know how much councils in United Kingdom make out of just ticketing, car tickets a year? Councils in United Kingdom, councils. The system is set in a way you say, if you are undisciplined, nobody is going to tell you to be disciplined, but rather they will dent your pockets. We have undisciplined drivers everywhere. Nia kane kono atwa habayegu, nia over drive on the shoulders of the road, nia zebra crossing on jina, nia obe over speedy. These are all bebiano apaki. Begin to think outside the box and begin to find motorists. You find them. You find them. And then they only have to pay by card. And the system is wired direct to the financial heart of the government. You will see how much money a year you will make as a country. You will see how much money. Sunday the announcement na obabe pacho akachen crofo say be pamcho me pese me to 11. You tell them these are the laws. We are doing this to make sure our country is fixed. And Uber broche uko developed country go to Dubai, all these places. You go to your friend is saying all these desert countries. I stood at Accra Mall some years back, and every time I go to Accra Mall, I do ask the same question. And then I folded my arms and I looked at Accra Mall and I said to myself, the architects who designed this building, they could have done better. At the same time, the management, and I said the owners of the building could have also given the architects a vision, even if that architect didn't have a vision. Yes, see more. More no, yes, see it is a Ghana normal, you be see ya dana. Yes, 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 assassin so. Assassin go. You see all that car park, a good more than any more abekwana cars na atwa pansano. They could have designed a nice car park. Na cars in ko assassin na kwa kugu honom tuba kind of the gear normal driving. So you driving straight, you get under, you park under there. Nankasa space na but their cars ni green na wanimu no ni na be part of the mall to expand the mall. And at the same time, me kwa kramo amebisa me say the parking here is free 24/7. Fani say anka o parke 2 hours biya na 3 hours biya krampa utuya 5 Ghana. People will still park and go and do their shopping for 5 Ghana for 3 hours. And ask yourself, Sanka, how much money have you made all these years? Anka sika manyano, anka say a sika second more, baby. We lack vision. Says, very beautiful landscape. Beautiful landscape. All it takes is say, your engineers, your architects, your planning team, mube demarketing yeme ye. Me say Ghana, baby, I ain't see that probiwa BCS. Obia ni wabeka shreachre ni pano. Until 65 years. 65 years. You go so area. 65 years. You need so cry abanom so pa. For 65 years still you doom kania. For 65 years still you need social security benefit or kromo. For 65 years, government still doesn't even have a vision. As a country, we do not have a state vision. Like I said, this is the roadmap of the country. And it doesn't matter we are CPPO, we are MPPO, we are WRKLO, we are NDCO. This is the roadmap. Manifesto, but this is the roadmap. We don't have it. And it's all down. What leaders really do, a man who said, it's all down to Nipana Udimanimno. When you have leaders who lack leadership skill and are not visionaries. No one that said Bible put you in a way or see unifreni echere unifreni kwanya munyina mudgu ammenem. Kana foni mwenye fra, nyodi eni mwenye fra. Munyina mukose ammenemu. Obi beka sada na wokase nipa neni efra. When we talking about vision, and you say when you mienu ho ade ne nkwano, and a chair say your optical vision are working well. As human beings, you need the two eyes to be able to see physically. Now, when we say your optical vision is well, in the same way, you need a spiritual vision as well. And then you need another vision that sees into the future. That sees into the future. Ghana at 65. Ghana at 65. Now, there is a very important extract here. I'm a person be reading on observation 3 from what leaders really do. And I didn't make us a because normally we tend to think that say obiaku school and now obi wo nimdie bi and now obi wo abasobo nkrata bi a say nipa ni nim nyanso obetimi abu man say nipa ni na emfeli. But it's not true. It's not true. Here, the writer's observation 3, I say failure is associated not only with the untalented, the very capable sometimes allow too much complacency up front. They put together too weak a guiding coalition. They fail to create enough vision or under communicate the vision or fail to remove sufficient obstacles to change. And I love that part. They fail to remove sufficient obstacles to change. Me say bookway, leadership bookway as a trauma Ghana. Me kanya. The only thing that comes into my mind is Ghana, na miracle. Because obstacles are we fail to remove them, to change. Why do we fail to remove all these obstacles? Or say they are planned to create short-term credibility building. Resource is insufficient. It's sad. It's sad. Ye mpanimfoɔ akɔ school, ɔmo asua adeɛ, ɔmo akɔ ɔmo anim, ɔmo wɔ nimdeɛ. Say, why do they fail in all these areas? As the author is saying, this is a 30-year study, so and yet 6 months, and yet 2 months, and yet 1 year, 30 years studies, interviewing leaders around the world, the past and the present, putting materials together, looking at why things fail. I have this fantastic book that one day I have to do a whole program for about a month on it, which is entitled Why Things Fail. Why things fail. Why ideas fail. We lack vision. We do not have leaders who have the leadership skill to take this country to its next stage. Titi amambo no say you hear sikan kwani de abuma no etwam. Yes, you will need money, but creativity plays a very important part now. Creativity, motivation, you need to be able to motivate your people. You need to be able to sell ideas to your people. Sometimes I also blame Ghanaians. Why? Because Ghanaians are still stuck in their own way. Say, who se bibia? Anything to change. Ghana ni up to today still are offer SUV, say Jeep. Majority still offer SUV, Jeep up to today. Majority na offer a powdered soap biya still you the washing yama omo, because that's what they know. Majority na ehu vacuum cleaner biya umbefrenu Hoover, because that is the brand that is stuck in their head. Se Bon Vita, se Cadbrio, se Debeo, or best friend Milo. So we are stuck in our own way. Say, Sena in Crawford Banoma betak dying. Nia ya momo mandate someone fanko book or mine. We need to begin to think to rechange these things. Nia Katria who said, hold on. Sisi and yes will be back, key soap ni t-shirt near here. And yet 20 Ghana, 30 Ghana, 300 Ghana, 400 Ghana near here. But Sisi and ye here penny for. And yet D any here. And yes, sir, Nipa ni Rebecca so fiha or tia nebusia for ye say any here. But we need people who can really come and understand us as people, understand our problems, and then be able to solve the problem, the 21st century way of solving things for us. So a lot of education need to be done. This is why the Biameka said, Yeah, education system no emboying because yansesa inema bia me say yetimu say another 65 aba because the world is flying and we are still crawling on. Yeah, it's a baby steps crown. That toddler on certain steps, toddler on certain steps, no to baby step, very uncertain. We are still not even there yet. You come to the West, year 7, year 8, are studying and they are doing coding. They're doing coding. And you go to Ghana, same age group, almost minister, the names of ministers. Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Housing, Minister of Transport, Minister of Health. Ajima menum ni omo keka din omo sua na wenum ye sua omo din. Anu ni e ba be test omo ono. These people. And oh gosh. Yes, sua omo din, collection omo din. And Penny Force still don't know what is wrong with it. Kromua, uko bisa year 11 year, say, who is the minister of that? Why do I have to know that? Oh, me say, Akolanbek bisa straight. Why do I have to know that? I don't have to know their name. And Akolani, you're right. Minister did the hearing. Only the anyone saw man who minister not tranquil, to me a reshuffle. Oh, reshuffle. A bad happens this year near move with you, near move with aqua. There's a new in Ayaqua. They are studying coding. Share Ukraine in Tokoi Baye. Ukraine in Tokoi, CNN and saying Russia. Share akola kitwa young guy bia na otraki Elon Musk jet no. Otraki Elon Musk jet Elon Musk ka say obe tua no sika bi na nko nja ne jet ne track or see there be he's doing it for fun or no taking more pleasure from that than sika obejo. Tama the Western government started say mo share Russian access no ni say ni amano a tracy na no and akola no. A teenage. So no. He takes pleasure in tracking planes. Or why not say, or trauma say, I can track all the oligarchs jets. Into circle like a no. And a setting a tracking system or the tracking all the Russian oligarchs. No, they are jets. They are jets. This is all studies from coding because they start early. They start early. Mokatre Ghana for and mebun say move into entrepreneurship. Na me fi say mobe momo akodie mobe momo nimdie kakra a bit of move set up team B and nice organization B eboa educate you say look now you can live in Ghana and even once you have a laptop and or you have a laptop and then you have a webcam or you have what do you call it, a bit of data, you'll be able to market yourself in the West. In Kola, you'll be able to get parents bia neba and share that you so good into a extra tuition be any senior man and one so baby son say because exams are I say one exams board at the Ghana no about the whole of West Africa, West Africa Examination Council and the 30 exams. No, I say different exams board. Do bet me I collaborate me 3 subjects. Now 3 subjects a different examination board and into your research now examination board you can market yourself here now teaching color mathematics, teaching color geography online. Parents will be paying instead say may I pay about £21 an hour for somebody to teach me ba adie. Now we bit me teacher color the same thing. Now say charge £5 an hour. You live in Ghana, you have nothing to lose. Before I realize, but word of mouth, your first client, you are good to them before you realize the word is spread. When you have so many students abroad, so you will take people under you. Now, what building have something good for yourself? Something good for yourself. If it's a Sunday doing, and you can sell it. Me see companies, sometimes I live in UK, I get cold calls from India. I do get cold calls. Indian web designers, they cold call me. Where they get my number from, I don't know. Offering their web design and hosting services cheaper than what you will find in UK. They're thinking outside the box. Yen ye 65. Still a 65 still a and ye bompire is ye hunyame. For 65 years, ya bompire sashi wiem is ye hunyame. Ya bompire for 65 years, still ye hunyame. God is giving us everything. Petrol kakra, cocoa kakra, gold kakra, bauxite kakra, diamond kakra, fertile land there, bebre krakra. Deben pan in Akupon Fanka, Humaye be. Ewia bebo, inso bebo, ebeto. You tell me. Deben pan in Akupon Fanka, be. The land and the climate we have in Ghana, and nuna abrofiwa. And nuna abrofiwa. Come nim. And come nim. Look at Abrofi weather, snow, cold. They will build greenhouses. Normally, the planting inside greenhouses. The planting inside greenhouses. They will set up water systems. Water all this. Look at the cost involved. Yes, though, the food in their supermarket is still cheaper than Yendia. You have the natural sunlight, you have the natural rainwater and everything. Because they don't. So I imagine they have to turn on lights on them. We need visionary leaders and leaders who have what it takes to lead, because the lack of leadership by mandate, it's too much. The lack of leadership, they have no leadership skills. They just come, they want to just come and enjoy and go. The fleet of vehicles, the private jets, the parties. Omoba ubia nkosuku nkola nko jina kwa ho sankwase ade ne nko a. Ono man no esi baby esi. Esi baby esi. Ya ka kire mo for all these years. Say, in sorry I spring for the beer. Thank God for Christianity. Thank God for Islam. But bebre na se si aspring afa bebre baby ano Kalabule. Ono mu deceive Ghana for. It's a way to make money. Aban regulate yomu. Regulating, sorry. Yaka besin ne. Besin ne. Aban tiye. Usu here sika. When sorry afa bebiano. Why don't you even tax the churches? Tax the churches. Every church to come and register. Church beer. Let them register as some will register as charity, some will register as then you, but let them register. And then let them file how much they make every year. Because you will get to see a lot. I mean, you say it can't be very radiant, but you get to see a lot through their banks. And tax these churches. Tax them. Yes, we preach crampono, oman tax no. Yes, none in the stream for no a preach crack. Yang tax from her. So what prevents our government to tax these churches? We don't think outside the box. The leadership skill is not there. And you see Falcon, you did we are near that conference. I say, Christ, say, Yakoni, a coffee, BB, or near the Buya man, yet one year that Sana Duomo now. Don't they sleep at night? Sometimes I ask. No serious leader. No serious leader. Oh, boom, my or penny my year. For 65 years, ne my area. Obeka Kotra conference as you open him, Diakobu ne mine. Nawada. No serious leader. No serious leader. No serious leader. No serious leader. Yenye serious. Say big boo, say jabetomo and fire home. Because a fire home and kabesia ne bogoso appear ta also appear chawo no. Munkonko negotiate 50,000. Is it 50,000 or 500? 5 million, sorry. Munkonko negotiated 5 million for a whole community who is gone through this. 5 million. Now 5 million is car. 5 million. Yeah, na who be that. Ba near home also. But I can promise you, Obi a teenager, and so the inheritance of what a bro 5 million. Now a whole community. A whole community. 5 million. And also crampono abujinapo. Person will share investigation no why ye. Na makate bogoso for monkope lawyer. Na monkante lawyer and say ye person represent ye. Ye winia ye bema bi ye wini so a ombe wini debenti kra na mun wini monfa aban no ene samazam campaign ni nanko gina kota dakem. Hwenesi woketa ye dwe omo dwe mo ho a ankombe wo hwenipa road accident kuom Ghana every year omo dwe mo ho a ankomo kwan no mafiase adwen how to do it dual carriage road and to bring some driving laws to regulate wrong overtaking, careless driving, causing death by dangerous driving on Ghanaian roads. Causing death by dangerous driving on Ghanaian roads. Omo dwe mo ho a ankomo di senya ma we nyina betoto akwan mu amamo. Omo dwe mo ho. Omo dwe mo ho. That is why for 65 years, 65 years, they go so area. But what leaders really do, Mama Tiasia say, may read you obium. Or see, failure is associated not only with the untalented. Nti enye se wa woni talent ne nkwa na utimi fail. 30 years of putting this research together. When we say enye obi a only talent nkwa and obe fail miserably and ultimately fail miserably. But rather, also the very capable sometimes allow too much complacency up front. They become very complacent up front. They allow complacency up front. They put together 2 weeks a garden collusion. Ghanaian leaders, we put together 2 weeks a garden collusion. We put together 2 weeks a ministerial team. We put together 2 weeks a team that can manage the affairs of this country. We put together 2 weeks people with vision that can take this country from wherever it is, from the pit of hell where it is, and bring it up. ABCCSO. 2 weeks. The team, our governments, our leaders put together normally a 2 week a team. 2 week a team. Why is it 2 week a team? Because they only pick the people that they think they will be faithful in return to them. They will be faithful to them. They will only pick teams within their comfort zones. So it's a team within a team. And I can't Eliano Frefrekobo. Every government, you will see this across. Frefrekobosa. Obefa kwesi mensa because kwesi mensa eninuya. Obefa yabuachi no wofase. Obefa Kwamre Japan because Kwamre Japan ye na damfu biba. Obefa ya mensa because ya mensa ye ni sister adamfu nso ba. No akofa ye friend is wuche ye ne wofase be yiri nuya. Wasisa team no anase there are nkrofo so ma be serve in the party sisi omabo nkokrom nso ma anom wo fase nom ye diomo no mo diomo na atwa mo hwesia 2 week team frefre kobo no eno no 2 week team. Boris Johnson government of Ninuya. Boris Johnson the government Ninuya of Omisi or Maninuya position ewo baby se Ninuya a do Brexit or short direction and a brother or also direction or also pen or one or reason or catching and say, Miniano, I don't like the direction you are going. I'm out. And no near friend is so brody boomine. And no near friend is say Obroni boomine. Or Niniano, they had problems. And no near friend is say Obroni a boomine. There is nothing wrong, say, in your government, unia bakubi ebewum, and answer wadan for bakubi ebewum. There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. But when you build the whole entire government based on friends and family and the people that you know and who you think will be faithful to you, then you have an issue. Because these people will never tell you when you are putting a foot wrong. They will never tell you. They will never tell you. Majority of them will not tell you. Any. Of course, they fail to create enough vision. That team you put together, they will fail to create enough vision as well. Instead of failing to put together a strong coalition to manage the affairs of the country, they will fail to create enough vision or under communicate the vision. Even if you have the vision, they will undertone it, under communicate that vision, or fail to remove sufficient obstacles to change. The old obstacles there, which are meant to be removed for them to have a change, those obstacles, they will fail to remove those obstacles. Therefore, change doesn't happen. And that is Ghana today. That is Ghana today. Ghana at 65 is sad. Very sad. Telling you. So, United States, independence here, 200 years, their democracy is 200 years. By UK, God knows how many years. And democracy, and I say, come on, you've had independence for 65 years. We are in our fourth republic. We are in our fourth republic. So what do we have to do to change the narratives? What do we have to do to change things? And I think we need to have a very close look at leadership skills. We need to have a very close look at leadership skills, because we lack them as a country. We have well-learned men, books, for certificates, no, abasudin, no, or say, we. Omu book nyansa, omu ni efie nyansa to apply things. I'm telling you, take it from me. We've seen it so many times. Omu book nyansa, omu ni efie nyansa. And mi baba be jamo, a TF4, mi be jamo. What extract be the way I brought for appointed ministers. The way I brought for appointed ministers. Obronim appointing minister. So we a health minister, and now we education minister, and answer we your friend is a finance minister, because I think with regards to finance, yes, normally you tend to have a big of financial background, because you're talking about figures here and you need to understand the economy, you need to understand the markets and things like that. So you need to have a very basic understanding, or very good understanding, not basic, more than basic you might require. But abrofo, I appoint you minister say, wako school kakra. You have what is called the leadership skill, and you have project management skill. And one no here. Or do better good position. Why? Because Ubeye minister, all you have to do is that, don't forget it's a ministry now, Okono. You're going to have all the top professionals there. Omono, they speak the ministry's language. They understand that particular ministry more than you. And you are coming from the government side. Those people are they're not part of the government. They are what is called what is the name I'm looking for? The name is gone. It will come. So they've seen governments upon government. Government comes and government goes. More. They are professionals. Into who minister, no, who you've come from the government. Now the government has got a vision. Said this is the direction I'm a person ministry way echo. You pick up that vision and then you go into your ministry. You liaise with your top professionals. Your top professionals each day, they will brief you of what they're doing and then give you an idea. Say for the next 2-3 years, this is that direction we are going. You then as a minister have to be able to communicate with them and say to them, this is the direction that the government want us to go. And I know you guys are the professionals. All I'm doing is I will direct you for all of us to have a common goal, and then to travel on the direction that we want to go, and then be able to also pick up that information and communicate to the government and the people. That's all. That's all. That is all. But Ghana no, Ghana for free be book long or bookworms. You name it. But the wisdom is not there. In application, in innovation, when it comes to vision, when it comes to implementation, they think, say, the way sitting on their high horses is how things should run. It's how things should run. And no, any 65 years, you go to the full area fem. Omo kasa no mu tu omo ho. No more mu tu omo ho. Who go school ben, who qualification ben awo. That is why we live in a country where somebody can go into an industry and work their way up to become a top director. Only or just basic education. The 9C, any higher education institution be other, but they can't get there. We need to begin as a country to rethink how we give mandate to people who have no leadership skill to run our country. How we give positions to people who have no leadership skills to run those ministries. How we assign projects to people who are not visionaries. We need to begin to rethink it. And at the same time, we need to rethink our education system already. How do we prepare the minds of these young ones to have leadership skills, to be able to visualize this country in the future? Because 65 years, we're doing really bad, really bad, really bad. And Kofi Dwokan, there's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to celebrate. We need to do things different. We need to begin to work on certain things different. Because the same old no, I'm whining. I'm about to end this video. And as someone make a tray and penny for me say, yeah, na implementing yeme bia Ebema yɛfi aseɛ ayɛ nneɛma differently. Let's begin to think outside the box. The selfishness, the greediness, we oye kronfo so oye yen aye kronfo because oye ye hu nipa no. Yen fias yen yin film. Embra ne di yawa edi no, edi kofia edi no, edi adwoa edi no. Si ye fiase ye ni ye bu oman ne sa ye beko ye nim. Me dase so ba bitie. My name is Kofi Asante Mpare. This is Diaspora Studios. Thank you for being here and God bless you all. Thanks again. Bye now.
The two hands are lifted up. Succeed or not. Our independence was with Malaysia and Singapore. Go and check them up. When you fly a drone over Accra, you will realize that 80% of this city is a slum. Where are our engineers? My dream was I'm driving from here to East Legon. Why do I have to make a detour before Accra Mall? Common sense tells you can go straight to East Legon. Why am I going to somewhere like I'm coming to somewhere like New Plan, but I need to go and make a detour or a U-turn at mile 7 and come back? Where are our engineers? I'm coming to Ofanko Moose. Why do I have to make a U-turn at Pokuase? You drive around in, great nations. Have you seen anything like that before? When you are driving in England on the main freeway or motorway, you get to a place, you will see what they've written, local traffic. So if it is Amasaman, they give you an exit. You go on the exit and the exit will take you into the township. You don't make U-turns. I give you on my common sense. Nenam se ni pe di dimunti. Womunim pa. Omanya. Yami be tria moka. Yami be tria moka. Yami be tria. Bring your camera, say. Yami be tria moka. Osuru nyame obe tria moka. Bisu nyami be tria moka. Ebe kamo. Yami obe tria moka. The two hands are lifted up.